My mother-in-law and I found out that she had another family she kept secret all these years. Now I know her darkest secret and have no idea what to do with it. My mother-in-law had passed a few days ago and my husband of 8 years, sister-in-law, and father-in-law have all been taking it hard. Mother-in-law and I had a somewhat amicable relationship. We weren't at each other's throats, but we weren't the best of friends. Father-in-law asked me if I could sort through mother-in-law's things after the funeral and I obliged. I had gone through everything until I got to an old diary of hers from the 80s. I know it's my fault for being nosy, but I didn't know what it was and it looked different from anything else she would have owned. In the book, she talked about having trouble with her eldest daughter and how she was acting at the time. This surprised me because sister-in-law is the youngest of the family and the timeline didn't match. It turns out that mother-in-law not only had another child but she was married to an entirely different person other than father-in-law. She always boasted about only being married once and said that father-in-law was the only husband for her. She talked about how her eldest never listens to her and that she and her ex got fed up and he convinced her to send their daughter to one of those tough love boot camps. She wrote that it was the worst thing she had ever done and that her daughter came back worse than before. She wrote that they tried to work things out, but the daughter ran away and that she hadn't seen her since. She blamed her ex for all of this and divorced him. In the back of the diary, there was a copy of the daughter's birth certificate and a picture of her as a teen. I have no clue how to proceed. I mean, she just died and everyone in the family is already grieving. I'm now stuck with mother-in-law's darkest secret and I have no idea what to do or even if I should tell anyone. I don't want to ask her father-in-law questions because he is really grieving and is very old. She doesn't want to distress him. Update: so big things have happened since the time I last posted. I got a lot of advice that ranged from don't tell your husband or he'll leave you for ruining his family, or tell him because if you don't, he'll leave you for keeping secrets from him. So that had my anxiety running rampant for a while on top of everything else. At that point, I just decided to sit sister-in-law and him down and tell them everything I found. I'm going to call the eldest daughter Jenny to make things clearer. It turns out that sister-in-law knew everything about mother-in-law and that's why they never had a good relationship, which shocked my husband. Turns out that mother-in-law was a straight-up liar, but so is her side of the family. The first thing she lied about was her age. She is not 85. She's 73. Sister-in-law found a copy of her real birth date at her aunt's house, and that's when mother-in-law's side decided to come clean. They knew that father-in-law would have never dated mother-in-law if he knew she already had a kid and was 12 years younger than him, so they all lied for her. They also told her about Jenny and her time at the reform camp. Sister-in-law admitted to contacting Jenny once. According to her, it didn't go well. From the little conversation that they had, it turns out that Jenny had tried to get back in contact with mother-in-law and had come to their house one day. Father-in-law was the one who greeted her and because he knew nothing of mother-in-law's past, thought that she was lying and started threatening to call the police on her for trespassing. When mother-in-law did come to the door, she acted like she didn't know who she was and closed the door in her face. Jenny has no desire to be contacted again and wants nothing to do with any of them. My husband is greatly upset about being kept in the dark for all these years, but he's working through it. We've all agreed to never tell father-in-law any of what we've discovered. He's an old man and we decided he should live in ignorance. I've given the diary to sister-in-law and she can do whatever she wants with it. Anticlimactic, I know, but I'm glad that everything is out in the open now. Jenny, the eldest daughter, wants nothing to do with any of them. She had scrubbed everything about herself after her encounter with sister-in-law.